So that's the situation at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. At the University of Ghana, the situation is no different. Joining me in studio is the General Secretary of the National Union of Ghana Students, Julius Kwame Anthony. Thank you for joining me here on Midday Live.
Thank you very much.
But before we begin this conversation, let's put into perspective the concerns of the teachers. Dr. Samuel Nkumban is the University of Ghana chapter head of the University Teachers Association of Ghana.
We consider that negotiations have stalled. The reason being that every 2 years, it is the case that we should renegotiate our conditions of service, right? And I must put on record that we submitted a document which we are engaging currently in 2018, which means that if we were to have had negotiations in 2018, this year we should be renegotiating our conditions of service. And so it's taken government 3 years to study our document and to engage with us in terms of what our requests are in relation to the fact that we now are working in very deplorable service conditions. In simple terms, we are not asking for any increments, we are not asking for any salary adjustment or any, but we are just saying that given the erosion that has happened as a matter of the value of the CD against the dollar, and also given the fact that the market premium has been frozen since 2013, and now we are worse off by $1,086. Could you kindly restore us to that level?
So you heard there Dr. Samuel Nkumban. He is the University of Ghana chapter head of the University Teachers Association of Ghana, UTAG, speaking to us. So the Ministry of Employment and Labour Relations has been reacting to the concerns of the teachers. In fact, they've been giving an update on negotiations they've been having with the University Teachers Association of Ghana. Let me quickly run through some of the pointers. So according to the ministry, the memorandum of agreement signed on June 16, 2021 will be implemented effective August 2021, and we are in August 2021. It says government will also consider a review of the current rate of research allowance payable in 2022. It goes ahead to say the issue of a relative value of your salaries, as averred by UTAG, will be constituted within 30 days to consider all the issues and make recommendations to government for approval of same. So those are some of the issues that came up that the Employment and Labour Relations Ministry has been putting forth. They say to implement the agreement, the memorandum, on August 2021, which we are currently in. But let's have the conversation now with the National Union of Ghana Students, NUGS General Secretary Julius. So you heard there Dr. Nkamban speak about the conditions of service that needs to be reviewed. That hasn't been done for well over 3-4 years. Now, you as the leadership of NUGS, how are you receiving this action, which is a strike by the teachers across the country?
Well, when two elephants battle out, the grass suffers. And as the strike actions go on, our students continue to suffer. It is a case that if you take Amstead, for example, they've suspended all their examinations, which are supposed to start today. The case of the University of Ghana, which exams are also supposed to start next week. If the strike action is not called off, then those exams would also need to be suspended. The senior staff has also joined the strike actions. It's very problematic for us as students, and especially final years who have their ACs to be reviewed and all that. Lecturers will not pay attention to any of that. So we find it very troubling to be in this situation, especially pending the fact that academic work has been obstructed somewhere along the line due to the COVID situation and all that. So on the side of the teachers, that is UTAG and the senior staff, we are making a humble plea to them that they reconsider their position. We are saying that they should not take very entrenched positions on the matter. However, if we worry about our students as a people, there's an adage that says that if you worry about the bull, you should worry about the ladder as well. So government should also do what is necessary on their side to ensure that there is a consensus reached as soon as possible. If you look at the issues the Minister for Employment and Labour Relations raised, he says that they are going to consider the issues of relative payments and all that within 30 days. That's a very long time. Within 30 days, if you look at the KNUST timetable, if you look at the University of Ghana's timetable, if you look at Amsterdam's timetable, all that, you realize that examinations can't go on. That's too long a time for issues to be resolved, so long as students are concerned. So we are making an appeal to government also to reconsider their position on the issues. Nobody should be entrenched on matters. Let's reach a consensus as soon as possible.
Okay.
Because students are the interest of the government as much as the lecturers are their interest, and they must look out for us.
Is NUGS going to take any action beyond the appeal to government to reconsider their position, and the teachers as well? Are you taking any action, for example?
As of today, the National Executive Committee of NUGS has not considered any actions beyond the appeal we've made to both parties. As and when that decision is reached, I think we will communicate it to the public.
Okay, thank you very much, Julius. Let's speak to my colleague, Christopher Mwako, who is currently stationed at the UDS campus. He's joining us via Zoom. Christopher, tell us about the situation where you are. How different is it from the University of Ghana and the KNUST? Christopher, you have to unmute for me so we can hear you.
Yes, Komla, can you hear me now?
Great.
Okay, so what I'm saying is that it's not different from what Ibrahim reported from the KNUST, and the situation is that students are on campus. The Cambridge students are on campus, but lectures is not going on because of the strike. The regular students of the University for Development Studies here at the Tamale campus vacated last week. So the regular students are on vacation. It's the sandwich students who are expected to be in school for lectures. Unfortunately, most of them have reported, and lectures is not ongoing due to the strike. As you can see in the background, lots of the students have come with their motorbikes parked here, and they are in the library doing their own studies.
Now, tell us about whether you've been able to get any word from the teachers on campus, for example, if they are willing at all at any point to badge.
No, what they are telling me is that it's a national issue. It's an association issue, and once all the other schools are embarking on the strike, they are also fully in support and participating in the strike until government responds or otherwise address their concerns. They are not ready to get back to the lecture halls until they get some good news from government.
Thank you very much, Christopher Mwako, a man stationed at the UDS campus there speaking to us. And Julius, just before I let you go briefly for me, is NUGS going to convene any meeting, or is NUGS going to take any action going forward if the teachers do not rescind their decision?
Well, it depends on the reasons for which they don't rescind their decision. We have two parties in this conversation, one government and the teachers. So we cannot take the issue from the perspective of just one.
Okay.
We have to analyze it from the perspective of both. So our position is that both should reach a consensus as soon as possible. Teachers have been working, negotiations over their payments and all those things have been going on. Some as far as 2008, that's in the case of the senior staff. In the case of the UTAG members, it has been as far as 2018. So you can't just take an entrenched position that they should go back without analyzing the perspective of government as to if government satisfies them. So our analysis will be based on the reasons for which the two parties act before we decide the course of action. It wouldn't just be an action against one person or in favor of the other person.
I appreciate that you could join